Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Indices, and I've been asked to go back over this long-term count here. So we're looking at the SPX here, and we're going back into the 1870s here. And obviously the S&P wasn't there at that particular point in time, so this would have been a Dow Jones overlap, and the data's from TradingView. Now this particular count I've got going to the upside is rather positive, and it just keeps moving to the upside here. I understand that there are many Elliott Wave people that would have this area here as a wave 4 here, and then having a top in play here. And and that could be correct as well. Now, the other point is that the stock market has been, expanding since day dot, and I believe that it will continue to do that, and it will continue to have trends and corrections of different degrees. But this count here is sort of rather positive, in amongst money printing debt and expanding ratios of earnings and company valuations and all these sorts of things. And we see very intelligent people like Buffett creaming money off the top, and but that's just good portfolio management, and anybody would be shaving money off the top and having a bit of powder to play a little bit later on as well. This is a rather positive count, and we're looking at wave 1 and 2 here. So this third wave that we're in is still unfolding to the upside here. So you can see how long that is. Now, obviously I'll get a lot of flack for presenting something like this, but I'm too old and crusty to worry about that too much, and I always just keep sort of moving on the evidence. So looking at these longer term counts to the upside here, I've labelled this one myself. I haven't. This is the Algo here. This will also do the labelling as well, and we've got the the AI here. So I'll just check to see what this is. We know we've got about 3 AIs trying to solve problems with with the wave counts as such, but not too worried about the notes and this and that. You could also come back in here and type and ask other questions in here as well, but I just wanted to check. So wave 3 bullish with microwave in here. So yeah, it's much the it's got it's 1 degree smaller, but it's same sort of count in it. It's saying that we're in a big wave 3 here, So yeah, anyway, that's basically where we are at the moment with this. And what I'll just sort of go into this area here without going into too much more of the history there. You can ask questions in the chat section if you like. So this move to the upside, as I mentioned, a lot of people will have this as a wave 4, and a lot of people will have, where I've got this wave 2, a lot of people will have this as a wave 4 as well. Now I totally get it, right? That is a count. All I'm saying is that, as always, I just keep counting until proven otherwise. And so in this instance here, we're basically looking from this low here. We're looking for 5 waves up to get to wave 1, and then we'll be looking for an ABC for wave 2 here. Now, obviously, we've got Trump coming into the White House, so maybe there's something in there that that could rock the boat as such, But that's this wave 2 is where we're looking for the top of this wave 1 here for this, and then we're looking for a sharper wave 2 to come into play. So we've been counting 5 waves up here, so that's what we're going to look at now for this. And oops a daisy, I just want to remove this one. Doesn't want to move. It's not doing it. Doesn't really matter. We'll just go into the I'll go into the daily count, and we'll pick it up from this wave 2 here. Okay, so I'll just need to bring in some we're in cycle degree, so this will be the primary degree count. We're going up from here as 1 and 2, and we're in 3 and 4 here for this, and going up to wave 5. And we can bring in the other counts for this as well. So we're in basically we're in this, let me just open this up here, we're in this ABC pattern here for this at the moment. So in a bit of a nutshell, what I'm looking for here, of course, is that we're looking for wave C to come down here in 5 waves. 1, 2, we're in going into wave 2 now, and then 3, 4, 5 here for this, and then we're going up at that point. So that's what we're looking for at the moment. As I mentioned before, that there is a good possibility, a reasonable possibility. It's not the strongest case, and I'll explain that as we go. But there would be an argument, let's say, for an ABC here for this. But if I put this wave 4 here, it's going to be too small. So in that case, what I would need to do here is I would need to bring this let me just bring this here a bit further. I would need to bring this wave 4 here to this wave 5 here. Let me just click on that there so I can grab it there. I would need to bring this up here, and then that means I'd need to bring that wave 3 up there as well for that. So I would need to continue to build this particular trend here if this correction is really small here. Okay, so that's something that we need to just consider. I don't think it's the case at this point in time, but as far as the crow flies, we're looking at this being, let me just get this back over here somewhere, an ABC correction over here for this, and putting that there, and this over to here for this, so the ABC pattern here. So let's just go to the 15-minute chart. I don't think there's anything else that I was looking for here. I'm just going to delete that. This is funny, it's not deleting, but that's okay. We'll just go into the 15-minute chart and just pick this top up here in all of this. Okay, so that's the top, and as I just mentioned, we're looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here for this. I'll bring in some more data. So it's basically an ABC. This is interesting. Sorry, this needs to go here. I made a mistake here. In this case, it does appear that this is an ABC pattern coming down here. That means that it's corrective, and that means we'll take out this top here. On the Nasdaq, however, the move down from the top here down to here does count better as 5 waves at this point. And yeah, so what we're looking for here at the moment is that if this you know, as I mentioned, that if it's possible for this here to be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, and this is finished here, right, then this would be wave 1 here and back for wave 2 here, and then we'd go up into wave 3 at that point. But that's not really what I'm seeing at this point. But it is something that's sort of a little bit left field, and if that is the case, because at the moment we're looking at this coming down for wave 1 here and going back for wave 2 here. Okay, now if it pushes up here, it's always, if we're looking to go short and for the market to go down, we need to know what the move to the upside is and what we're going to do about it. So if it goes up to here as wave 2 here, then that will be fine, and moves down. We'll talk about that in a moment. Now, if it pushes up and we get 5 waves up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here, we do not need to chase it because it will come back for an ABC pattern, right? And then we'll catch it over here for that. We'll catch it over at this point. Okay. So we don't need to do that, and we'll be working the 6,000 price point over here for that pattern. So this would be to the long side. Okay. In the meantime, this on the short side here, just trying to drag this across. This charting program is a little bit new to me, so it's one that we've been building ourselves. Well, Zhao, our engineer, has been building this for us, so it's pretty fantastic. And I'm just using it to see what else we need to add to it and those sort of things. So in this case here, we're looking for a little ABC pattern to the upside here. So that means that currently we can short it under here, but we want to get a better position. It does look like we are moving up here a little bit further on this. So yeah, we may be able to get shorter under this low here. But if it comes up to here, this around this area here, this next move, if it's going to come down, it will come down level with the previous low here, and that will also be 5 waves here, and then we'll also have an ABC pattern over here. I've probably made this a little bit too big over here for this, and then we can look to short it under there for that. Okay, the other point that I made this morning with this video is that the closest largest number is the 5,900 here. So this type of pattern here, we would want to be, if it was looking nice and clean, would be looking at it like this here, if this was the 5.9. So we want to see the first move to come down. We want the 5.9 as a retested resistance before we short it. We want that, we want the weight of the volume on our side. So we wait for the first low below the level, and then this can push up here. But normally this would push up here and come back above the level here, making it a little bit more complicated. So this is more of a common pattern here. So the same low here, but pushing back up here. So we have to rinse and repeat and look for the same situation over here. So we want to see this as the resistance at this point. We are currently doing the same thing here with this. This is the 5.9 coming through here, and you see this low below the level here. So we're coming down here already and pushing back up here. So when we look at that, when we look at that again over here, we're down here at the moment, and we're going to be pushing back up there. So we'll be pushing back up through the 5.9 at this point, but we're going to wait for it to come around again at this point. So it'll be the same. This whole pattern here, this big pattern here, will be a fractal of this little one in here for that short trade setup. So now we've looked at the short and the long of this market. So yeah, that's it really in a bit of a nutshell. This move down here can be counted as an A and a B and a C wave to this point. That's why I was looking at this moving to the upside. But the Nasdaq is a little bit different. The Nasdaq has got this down here as a cleaner 5-wave pattern to the downside. Okay, so I won't go into the big picture here, but I'll just point, because they're all most of the stocks are like this as well. Okay, so it's a little bit sort of easy to follow for stocks and indices. The FTSE is doing something a little bit different, but basically the wave 3 top over here for that, right? I'm on a 15-minute chart. We've got the A wave here, and then an A and a B and a C wave here. And then in this case here, you can see a bit clearer that we've got this wave 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4, 5 here. So we do have a nice clean 5 waves down here. So to look at this, I'm just going to remove that because I was talking about that in the stocks video. But basically an A wave, a B wave here, and then a C wave up here. Now I could put the B wave over here and be finished with it, but you know, and I'm just pointing out that, you know, we can put it here, but it's probably I'm just allowing a bit of drift in here for this, and it may not even go this high here as well. You can look for the 50-60% and all those sort of things, but you'll see it when it's up there. But when that does push up there, then you can move this trigger line under the B wave, and once this comes up here, it'll come down again in 5 waves, and then you'll have this ABC pattern over here. So you can clip this top here, or you could clip the little B wave in here for the short side here as well. The 21,500 up here is pretty significant. 5 is the second strongest number, so it may want to reach that. You know, that's really its aim. Will it get that far? I really don't know. The only thing to do is to count 5 waves up to this point. Okay, so over to the DAX. This is the top here, and the move down here can also be counted as an ABC pattern. So it's possible that the wave 4 could already be in play here as well. I've got this here as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave up here. And obviously this could also be called wave 1, 2 here, and 3 up here, and coming into a wave 4 here. But otherwise, if it's going to move in line with the S&P, we'll be looking for 5 waves down. We've got a nice sharp move at the moment, but that doesn't really mean a lot as wave 1, because normally in a correction, wave A can also be as sharp as well here. So if you went short here to catch this third wave here, the worst case scenario is that this would be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave coming down here somewhere, and then turning back up at that point. So the stop would need to go above the top, and I don't think that's quite there just yet. Let's just have a closer look at this here. So that's the low here, and that would be the A wave, the B wave, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Wave 4 is a bit low and overlapping this. I mean, technically I see we could put that there, but the wave to the upside just doesn't seem quite complete just yet. So I think that there will be some little move to the upside here somewhere. What numbers we got up there? 20,380. So 80's a nice number, and that top there over there as well is probably about right for this. So yeah, now you could lift this up under this low here and so on. You could, and once that moves up to there somewhere, then you can also drag that up to that particular low to get triggered in. But be careful of your price points over here. This 20,300 over here, right? The 300 would be part of group 1. So you could use that as a retested resistance to move into this market. I'm going to drop this out of the way at the moment, but all in all, it's moving in line with the S&P. I'd probably be happier shorting the S&P because the European markets seem to be a bit stronger at the moment, especially when we go over to the FTSE at this point as well. So this is just the cash market here for this. So I think it's probably a good idea to have a look at the daily chart on this, because we do have well, it is a bit of a dog's breakfast, this whole sideways pattern here. It's been holding steady at this point. Now, I understand that you could label it in lots of different ways, and the way that I've labeled it here as an A and a B and a C here, there are sort of well, they're not errors, but they're warning signs that typically it does this and does that at this particular point. So I was looking for a B wave up here, and then a C wave to come back here, and then a move up. So pretty much in line with the rest of the world at this point. Now this B wave here has come quite high, but all of these moves have come really quite high as well. So I'm not that concerned about it, but I can also see that the move up here can also be counted as an impulse wave to the upside here. But basically what I'm looking for is the same as the other markets: a move up and then a move down, and then we'll go for the longer term trade at that point, and we'll probably could also look for some stocks at that point there as well. So just into the 15-minute chart and looking at this to the upside. So as you know, we've been looking at this because this move down here, I mean, we can count 5 waves from here coming down, but it's a little bit more like a corrective pattern here, which kind of suits this wave A here anyway, and then the B wave coming up here. But this can also be counted quite easily too as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here. It's still got a little bit more to go here. Let me just trace this out for you. So you can look at it as an impulsive wave. I'll just go over that again as 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a little bit short on the thing there, and then 4. Well, you could go to 4 over here, but you could also do 4 here as well. So there's a couple of different ways to count this, and this 5th wave here has not finished, if that's going to be the case. But if we were going to trade long here, then while the other markets are pulling down as making new lows to finish their wave 4s, this could pull back as an ABC pattern and then move up there. But I can't confirm that. I can't confirm this being wave 1 yet, but I having difficulties confirming wave B here as well. But and either way, we're going to have a top and we're going to pull back. Okay, so that's really the gist of it, because it could be counted. It can be counted in in both ways here. So on the I think I've even got it down to here. So yeah, so we can count as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can go for an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here. And this is more of a. This should also be a warning, really, as well. I'll have to tweak that, but wave 5 must break wave 3. It doesn't have to break wave 3. All it really needs to do is have 5 waves, and we got 5 waves here in this little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So it just hasn't taken out the top here, so it shouldn't really be a red thing here. So I'll get that sort of fixed. But the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here. I mean, I could put the A, the B, and the C wave to here, and put this B wave over here. And I could also look at this as wave 1 with an A and a B and a C to the upside. I could also look at that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So it's a little bit messy in here, but as an ABC for the B wave and down for the C wave, even though it hasn't broke this low here, is sort of okay-ish. And then I was just counting this to the upside. When I come to this last little structure here from wave 4 to I've got 2 in here. This one here needs to be changed. So this wave 5 I've got of wave 3 here. I could also, from wave 4 here, I could look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. So I could quite easily bring this up here further on this as well here. So we could come up further. We're definitely going higher here. With this structure is not completed at this point. Yeah. Okay. So we still got further to go up here. It does bring the B wave pretty high, so that's the issue there. Okay, over to the Australian market, and it's same but different. We've got the wave 3 top here. I'm looking at an impulse wave to the downside, and I've been trying to, the A wave was swift and sharp like it should be. And the B wave is kind of simple. It's almost like a wave 2 as well, so it's not that helpful. But this is not acting like a third wave here. It's acting more like a C wave. And the wave A here has, the length of wave A is not quite the same as wave C, but it's got a relationship there. Do you know what I mean? It's fine. And we're sitting at the 61.8% area here as well, and we've had a sharp drop off here, very much like the DAX as well, and the banks have taken this higher. I should check with the banks to see if they're going to take us even higher. There may be, now that this move down here is overlapping with this one here, we may be okay at this point. So it's pretty much a short trade under here for this. This is a little, I don't know if that's the ABC pattern to here or that's the A and the B and the C, but I'd be looking for sort of downside on this move here. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that at the moment. And other markets are like this too. Harsh does the Indian market, I'm just going to cover this Nifty for him because it hasn't been sort of covered for a little bit. He's having a bit of throat problem, so he's been making videos on these. So we've been looking down as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the A wave and ABC for the B wave, and then we can look at this as 1 and 2 here as well. So we'll be moving down further. The main thing that you got to be mindful of here is support at this 23,000 here. So this is the top of minor group 1, and you can tell that there is support here because of this here. So it's not going to be a fast move down here. And this needs to obviously come down here further, but I think it's going to be a bit of a rockety road in around the 23 here down into the 22 area here. But in a nutshell, this is still all of wave 1 to play out here. We still need to move down. So it's very much, the Nifty is very much like the most of the other markets at this time. It's not always the case. But the bank Nifty is 33% roughly of the Nifty, so a bit like the Australian market. The banks have got the edge on the index as well. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.